¿Qué pasó, mi gente? It's Mark Tip 25 otra vez. I'm Mark Tip 25, and this is my brother Mario. How's it going, bruh?
Good, man. You know, good start to the new year. Hoping, wish everybody some wonderful times, very prosperous times, and hopefully that this can flourish into the new year, man.
Exactly, man. This is another episode of El Chuco Sportscast, episode 14, the new episode in the new year. We're excited to talk about some NBA action as well as the playoff picture for the NFL and a couple of things for UTEP basketball, men's and women's. But yeah, to start off, let's talk about the NBA. I'm gonna pull up the standings here just to see how things are shaping up. So what we got right here is, of course, the standings from the NBA. This is the Eastern Conference. Thus far, this is what it looks like from the first to the eighth seed. We got the Sixers, the Magic, the Pacers, the Cavaliers, the Hawks, the Celtics, the Knicks, and the Bucks. And then, of course, like outside looking in. And again, this is the early part of the season, but this is just how things are looking thus far after the first 2 weeks. So we have the Nets, the Bulls, the Heat, the Hornets, the Wizards, the Raptors, and the Pistons. So to start off, let's talk about the Sixers, man. They're starting off pretty well. Um, I mean,
I'm,
you can't really be too surprised. I mean, because you have Embiid and Simmons, so they have a really decent team, and they've added some shooting with Seth Curry. The Magic have been pretty surprising, but then again, the same thing happened last year. They started off really well, and then they kind of like faded off near the end. So I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, they're still at least a playoff team, but just they're. I'm predicting they're going to end up a lower seed by the end of the season when all is said and done. Pacers have started off pretty damn nicely. Victor Oladipo's been pretty good. Sabonis has been pretty good. Um, then the Cavaliers start off pretty nicely too, which is kind of surprising. Colin Sexton is starting to come into his own now. And then the Hawks. I mean, I have a feeling the Hawks are going to be a really dangerous team this year. I know they're 4-2, but they started off the season pretty much like guns a blazing. Trey Young is looking like a really good MVP candidate to start off the season. And with his new teammates, they're looking like a really strong team in the East. Then the Celtics are starting off a little rocky for their standards, but I mean, again, it's the early season. I'm certain they'll get it together. The New York Knicks, of all teams, have won won 3 games. I mean, they're at 500 right now. But the surprising team in all of this is the Milwaukee Bucks. They're starting off pretty rocky for the team that they have. But again, maybe things will connect a little bit more. But yeah, so thus far with what they have, it's not starting off too well. The Nets started off really quickly, but then they've kind of faded out a little bit with, I believe, Spencer Dinwiddie getting injured. I mean, Karis LeVert is still there, but yeah, they're for some odd reason they're just starting to lose ground a bit. But I mean, the great thing is KD is back. He's looking really healthy and he's playing really fucking well. So that's going to be a really interesting thing to see when it gets later in the season how things are going to shape up. But I think the Brooklyn Nets, even though they're struggling right now, are going to be at least top 3 seed within sorry, not the West, the East when all is said and done. The Bulls, they beat the Mavs yesterday, but that was without Luka. Zach LaVine played a really great game with 39 points yesterday, but I don't know. Overall, the Bulls have been they've been struggling defensively. Yeah, like I think it was either the season opener or something. They gave up a shit ton of points within the first half. It was ridiculous. The Miami Heat have struggled a little bit, so it's kind of crazy to see how they're doing after they made a really good run in the bubble last year. The Hornets are the Hornets. Wizards have been rocky, even though they have Russell Westbrook. But I don't know. I think it's sad to say, but I almost feel like Russell Westbrook, even though he puts up decent stats, has not been helpful. He's been kind of a negative in some aspects. But I mean, granted, again, it's still early, but hopefully they get it together. They're still building chemistry, and Bradley Beal is gonna do what he's got to do. The Raptors have been kind of surprising. They've kind of fallen off this season. And Detroit Pistons, I mean, nobody really expected much from them. I mean, there's a few positives within that organization, but overall, they haven't been really doing that well. Now we're going to move on to the Western Conference. We have the Clippers, the Suns, the Lakers, the Jazz, the Pelicans, the Trailblazers, the Rockets, and the Golden State Warriors running up the top eight. And then for the rest of the league, it's the Sacramento Kings, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs, Timberwolves, Memphis. Wow, Memphis Grizzlies and Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are in last place in the freaking Western Conference to start off the season. I mean, it is what it is. But let's to kind of start off with the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers have been pretty decent. I know they had that one game where they got blown out by 50 points against the Mavericks. But once again, people, they did not have Kawhi Leonard. And we could say all they want. We could say all we want about, oh, well, the Mavericks didn't have KP and blah, blah, blah. Okay, dude. But you're going to compare KP to Kawhi Leonard, who is, again, a two-time NBA champion, a really good defensive player. Like, come on. That's apples to oranges. Kawhi Leonard would have at least, I don't think, I mean, even if they lost, it would not have been by 50. Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean? It would not have been by 50. But they're the first in the West right now, so they're really proving their mettle. Well, I mean, technically it's a three-way tie between the Suns, the Lakers, and the Clippers. The Suns have been playing really well this season with, the addition of Chris Paul. I mean, that's something they needed. They really needed a good, dominant ball like point guard, just who can pass the ball but also create off of the dribble as well. So that's a good addition to them, and they've started off really nicely. The Lakers, I mean, the Lakers are the defending champions, and they have great pieces. So I mean, I'm not surprised there. There's really no surprise for the Lakers there. The Utah Jazz and the New Orleans Pelicans are tied for, I guess, second, if you want to call it that, but they're like fourth and fifth seed right now. Um, but yeah, they've been playing okay. They've been middle of the pack. There's a lot of great things to see in the Pelicans with Zion Williamson. The Jazz, I mean, there's been a few struggles with the Jazz, but they've been playing pretty well. The Trailblazers, they started off pretty well and then they got a little shaky after that. So, I mean, it is what it is with them. Especially yesterday with that trouncing by Steph Curry. Houston Rockets, they kind of didn't start off that well, and because like they had players missing, like they had to sit out John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins as well as other players, and then freaking James Harden was being an idiot. So it is what it is. But I mean, right now John Wall looks like he's come back pretty strong now. So let's see what happens with him. I mean, that's going to be really it's going to be really big if he can continue this type of production, because then that might be the thing that keeps James Harden in Houston. And then we got the Warriors, who struggled like really early in the season. You know, there was a lot of talks around Steph Curry saying, "Oh, look at him, see, he isn't anything. Like he can't carry a team." And I don't know, man. I think people really forgot the type of player Steph Curry was. It was pretty much the same thing how people forgot the type of player that LeBron was when he got injured and then just things weren't going their way. So I don't know. This season, I think, I mean, people are saying that he doesn't have anything to prove. And in some regards, yeah, I agree. But I guess in some ways, he does have a little bit, just a little bit to prove. I mean, if he manages to keep this team like afloat and gets them like into the playoffs, even if it's a lower seed, that's enough. You know, that should be enough. I don't know what else you want from Steph. He does not have his co-pilot in Klay Thompson. And I don't know. I don't expect any superstar to be carrying a team in this regard. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. People are going to disagree, but whatever. Then we have the Kings that have been like, again, kind of back and forth. Yeah, there's a promising young player in Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people are really liking his game. As a matter of fact, NBA YouTuber Dom2K is buddies with him. Apparently, they've played on Twitch streams and shit. So that's kind of cool. But overall, like Tyrese has really proven he's a really good defensive player, and his game has transitioned well, despite a lot of people saying his shot wouldn't. So that's at least an upside for the Kings. And of course, you have De'Aaron Fox, who's a stud and he's really fast and all that. So that's a good thing going for the Kings right now. The Thunder, despite pretty much blowing up the team and getting a bunch of picks, they've started off relatively okay. I mean, they're not great, but it's okay. Denver has kind of fallen off a bit, but I'm certain that's going to turn around a bit. So we'll see what happens. San Antonio, I don't expect too much from them this season. Minnesota, I think Cat got injured, so he's out. So that's a huge blow to the Timberwolves. Grizzlies, yeah, the Grizzlies again. They have injuries to Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Morant most recently. And John Morant in the early going was looking like he could be a possible MVP candidate with like a 44-point game that he had. Like it was ridiculous, man. John Morant is a heck of a player. Like that's a like another like dual threat. I'd like to see like Trey Young versus John Morant. Those are two really good players that I'd like to see face each other, but it's probably not going to happen this season, sadly. And then the Mavericks. Oh, my dear Mavericks. Like so much potential, but they just can't get it done. Part of it is Luka struggling within those first few games, but I mean, he kind of picked it up a bit in the last two before he got injured for this previous game. But I have faith in him. I know it's early, and I know a lot of people are starting to look at him kind of funny, but I'm certain he'll get back into the swing of things. I mean, he started to, so I'm confident. And again, we're also still waiting on Kristaps Porzingis, but again, that should not be an excuse. Overall, as far as other players, we had Dwight Powell. He hasn't been anything. He's been a huge negative, and I've been telling other Mavs fans, I've been telling people for a while, this guy, he's not that good. And I really do not care what the advanced stats have said about him. Of course, he's going to have really high advanced stats when you're not playing that many minutes, A, and B, you're not taking as many shots. And but C, when he has, he's been very inefficient. He hasn't been very useful overall. So I'm sorry. He's just a overall negative, and we really should not have paid him that fucking money. I'm sorry. I really don't know what else to say to y'all. I've been saying this for a while, but nobody wanted to listen to me. But I don't know. I digress on that point. Jalen Brunson had a really good game yesterday, like 31 points, I think 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Really good game overall. So I think we'll start to see Jalen Brunson have a bit more time off of the bench, hopefully. Um, and then, it's kind of sad. Tim Hardaway Jr. has kind of fallen off a bit after being really good last year. But no, I don't know. Again, maybe he'll find his way again. And Josh Richardson has been kind of back and forth. Like there's been moments where it's like, hell yeah, this is a great pickup. And then there are moments of like, I don't know, man. But again, I'm sure Josh Richardson will pick up the pace. And I mean, they have the potential, man. Like again, I say about that Clippers game that they probably wouldn't have won by 50 if Kawhi was in there. But let's be quite honest here. These players, they are good pieces. They are good players. Let's not pretend that they are garbage because they have the potential to put up 50 damn points on a team. They have all this potential, but they don't utilize it well. And again, and I'm going to say this, and everyone's going to disagree with me, but at this point, I don't care. Rick Carlisle has not been putting in good enough rotations. Something is off. And the fact that he will not bench Dwight Powell is alarming. It's been obvious. Again, I know it's been a few games, but in this regard, you have to try something different. I understand Willie Cauley-Stein has made a few mistakes of his own, but he's been more of a positive than like off of the bench than Dwight Powell has been starting. I'm just gonna put it like that. Give Willie Cauley-Stein the starting position, and even give Boban more minutes, dude. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Like Boban, when he has been given more minutes, has actually been decently efficient. But I don't know. Again, I am not an NBA coach, but there's just some things I'm seeing that I wish Rick Carlisle will do. And I'm sorry, I'm not the only one that has seen that because I've seen some other Mavs fan like Twitter accounts that have said some similar things to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not. But overall, there's a lot of shit the Mavs have to fix before we can consider them a threat in the NBA. And again, hopefully Luka can just come into his own and shake off these 3-point woes, which he's been fucking horrible this season. He's like 9.5% from three, which is abysmal. But again, maybe he just needed to come back. And again, guys, it's been a totally different world. They haven't had a NBA combine or NBA training camps at all. They had like a couple of preseason games, but it hasn't been really that helpful. I mean, I don't know. It hasn't been the season that is typical. So
No,
you're going to
yeah,
see some players that are struggling. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as what happened with the NFL. No pre, they didn't even get a preseason, no training camp, no nothing. So a lot of players weren't physically conditioned and prepared for the season. So that's why you had a lot of injuries and a lot of teams that should have done well that did not do well. I know coaching and execution is a big factor, but that played a role. And I can see the same for the NBA as well. It's you know, like with the Mavericks, with Luca, he's still young. He's still a young kid. You know what? He didn't he just like turn 21 recently, or is he
I
about
th-
to?
I think he's about to. I
Yeah.
don't know if
So
his birthday has passed yet.
he's still young. So he's still immature in a lot of aspects. He gets frustrated a little too easily still. I saw
Yeah,
some
but
games
it's
recently where he just, bro, you need to calm down. Like I said, even watching him live on the last game we went to go watch against Denver, it's like he was getting so worked up. Like, bro, you need to calm down. He needs to work on that. He needs to grow up in that regard. He's that way he can remain focused. But also, yeah, a lot of players, especially what I've seen, they haven't had enough time to condition as much as they should have. So that's why you seeing some teams get off to a slow start. But I believe you that Luca will pick it back up. The Mavs will come back strong. I know it's only 6 games into the season, but I know they'll come back strong and get up there. So I have faith. But yeah, I also agree with Carlisle's rotations as far as the big man is concerned. And I'm kind of yeah, I agree with you. I'm disappointed in Powell because I've seen him when he does well in the past, and it's just I'm not seeing it right now. So you need to change it up with
but
Polly
even
Stein
I don't.
and Boban because the I know Boban is the biggest biggest guy you have on your team, and I know he being that big of a guy. Yes, you're not going to be as fast because you weigh more, and you're going to get tired a little more easy. But however, he has been the most effective big man I've seen since other than Porzingis since he's hurt. And he's done more in my opinion than Powell has done lately. So he's the biggest asset you got. Okay, so you got to limit his minutes if you need to, but make him count because
Yeah,
you and I
utilize him
both
more
saw him.
effectively.
You and I both saw him put up over 30 points in a game, and at the center position that's almost unheard of, other than Shaq.
I mean, no, there are other players like Embiid and
Well,
Jokic that
Embiid,
can do
well,
it.
right, Embiid and Davis for sure. But
But the thing is, Davis is not even. He doesn't want to play center. He's pretty much a power forward
but
most of the
he's big
time.
enough. But he has the height and mass to be a center.
Yeah, I
Correct.
mean, he can guard the center. That's no
Yeah,
problem. But it's just he
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 prefers
prefers
him.
the power forward position.
Right,
Um,
because he can score, which is great. But I mean, I don't see what's wrong with you being at a center position and still score. I mean, that and still be the highest scorer on the team. That's
yeah, I
just
mean,
that's just me.
yeah,
But
there's a yeah. Overall, there's a it's pretty much a league of versatility now. It doesn't like it's again, we're still trying to go towards that positionless basketball. But the thing is with Boban, like I don't know, you have guys that are out. Powell's getting out rebounded. Kleba, although I think he
oh
deserves
yeah,
more
Kleber.
minutes,
Forgot Kleber.
yeah, Kleba should get more minutes. I think. He
He's actually been more effective on the court than he's been more
yeah, I mean
proactive than
as
Paul.
a power forward, yeah, like I think he's been doing well from three. They need to utilize that more. And he's been okay defensively. He could be better, but he's okay. But
And
see,
yeah, he needs to.
overall, like when your centers in general are getting out rebounded, put someone in that's gonna help you like get some extra boards back. I just I think
Like
they
that's
are
the whole
really
point of
underestimating the height advantage there.
yeah, that's the
I don't
whole
know.
point of Paul. You're at the center position. You got the height. You got the strength.
Well, I mean,
Rebound the
granted,
damn
he's a little
ball.
undersized for a center, but even then, so was like Draymond Green. They would play Draymond at center, and that guy's severely undersized, and yet he was very
But he's very
aggressive.
physical.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
he's aggressive. That's I've seen it from Paul though. I've seen it in the past. That's what like what happened. You
I mean, granted,
know,
yes, he came back from injury, but even then, like I just don't see very much fight in him. Even before injury, he had some flashes, but again, he's very inconsistent. That's just my whole deal with him. I really don't think he's as good of a player as everyone thinks he is. He's not. If
mm,
he was, like I wouldn't be complaining. I wouldn't be saying anything about it. But here I am. I don't know. I think we could have done better than Powell. We should not have paid him the money we paid him.
how much did they pay him?
Okay, the Mavericks. I'm not part of the organization.
I know, I
I'm a fan.
know.
But
No,
they,
no.
yeah,
Well,
I
how
got to
much
get
did
away
they
from
pay
that.
him? Do you remember?
Huh?
How much did they pay him? Do you
I know it was
remember?
like 11 million a year, which
For how
is
many years?
I think it was like 3 or 4 years. But either way, dude, that's too much for his skill set. I think they overpaid him. I guess at that point, I don't know. I don't know. Overall, I think the Mavericks should do something to change it up a little bit if this continues to happen. That's really my whole mindset. Sorry, I got caught up with something. I was reading something. But yeah, overall, the Mavericks. I think if once KP is back in the rotation and they just really focus, I think it'll be fine. But I don't think that's on the part necessarily of Rick Carlisle. Again, I've everyone's like, oh, he's such a great coach. He's such a great coach. And look, he has a lot of good things about him, but another thing I'm not a fan of with him is that he does not like to play his rookies. He doesn't. Unless he does not like he doesn't develop them. He
Mm.
just,
I mean,
he
yeah,
wants he wants someone already like finished. Like when Luca came in, that they played him because they knew he was going to be a player that could really just flourish. But with other players, he doesn't give them much of a chance at all. So I don't know.
yeah, yeah. That's a problem because how else are you going to get your rookies to grow and gain experience by not
I mean,
if you
granted,
don't play
yes, you
them on
could.
the court?
Yeah, I get it. You can play them in the G League, but G League play can only get you so far, and it can only help you out so much. You know what I mean? You have to see some time on an actual NBA court with actual competition. And not to say that these NBA G League players are not good, but they're again, there's levels to it. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's another thing. Well, you know how like in college they do red shirts, meaning you don't usually red shirt. I guess they do it at every level, but that means you don't play. You don't get to play that
Yeah,
season. Which I think in a way is kind of unfair because you're trying to get let how else are you going to get experience by not playing them, so that way you could see where they are, especially during a game. And I know if you're that young, you don't want them to get hurt, but at the same time, it's like if that's what Carlo, I feel that's what Carlo is kind of doing. It's like, come on, they're in the pros now. They deserve a chance to go up against some of the best players in the league in order to get experience and grow. That's how they get. That's how you get better by doing it. By going out and doing like with anything. So it's like don't cheat them of that opportunity when they come in.
yeah. At
Everyone
least
gets
give
has
them
a
like a
chance.
chance to see if they can even provide something better than maybe like again. What if Green ends up being better than Powell? Like why not give him more minutes instead of Powell? Or I don't know. It's just shit like that. Give at least give it a try. Something to if it's not working, then yeah, then do something else.
Mm,
But the thing is, I just don't think they really try. And I get it, like playing your rookies when you have a really good lead, and because I mean, when they had that 50-point lead, they at least gave them some like minutes to play, and they looked pretty good. I mean, even Owundu got some minutes. But see, I don't know. I hate how these Mavs fan pages like make a big deal about acquiring certain players, and then they don't really get much playing time, and it's just like, what was even the point of all that hype? You know? Just
right.
yeah, because I mean, Owundu hasn't really played all that much this season. They got him from Orlando. But yeah, he just it I don't know. We'll see what happens later within the season on that end. But I just want to do one more thing before we move on to the next topic. I want to talk about Steph Curry. Because everybody, again, everybody's been making it seem as if Steph Curry can't do crap. He's a fraud. And I just think that's utterly ridiculous. This guy is a two-time MVP, one of them being unanimous. This guy is a three-time NBA champion. And yeah, you can say all you want about, oh, well, he had KD. He had KD. Oh, and in 2015, LeBron didn't have Kyrie and K-Love. Okay, dude, and that's his fault. Why? Why is that any of his fault?
It's
You
not.
you
I
play
mean,
who's in front of you, man.
dude,
And
that all
and
that's irrelevant, you
and
know.
it's not like Curry himself was like, "Oh, oh yeah, like he doesn't make those decisions. The front office and KD made those decisions, not him.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, granted, yeah, you do what you can to make your superstar happy, but at the end of the day, KD chose to go to the Warriors. That's not any fault of Steph's. And Steph was more than willing to share the ball because he's that good of a teammate. He's one of the greatest teammates I've ever seen. Like he sacrificed a lot for KD. And to right now, at pretty much his detriment, because he didn't win Finals MVP in either of those two finals. It was KD. But the second one, you could make the argument he could have won that MVP. But see, ever since then, everybody discredits him because of that fact. He has no Finals MVP, and that's ridiculous. It's it's una pendejada way. It's stupid because you see the talent he has. The 40, 50, 90, 40% from like 2 point, 50% from three, and then 90% from free throw range. Or no, sorry, backwards on the 2 and 3%. I mean, 3 point range. Either way, that is an amazing player. Like you don't fucking just do that not being an amazing player. And he proved last night, scoring 62 points, his career high, that he is still an amazing player, that he is a good player. It was not a fluke. There was no bullshit to his deal. And I hate the fact that the media is trying to make it seem as if, oh, well, this is a legacy defining moment. To an extent, I can understand, but not at the extent that they're going to. No, he's already proven he is a superstar and pretty much a Hall of Famer when all is said and done. Like, let's not fucking pretend he's like anything else but that. I don't
I
know.
mean,
I just get really
yeah.
tired of the NBA's media trying to paint some picture in favor of some stupid agenda. And again, and I hate to invoke LeBron, but that's what they always try to do. They always try to invoke LeBron. They always try to invoke Jordan on any fucking argument. And it's like, dude, because they're saying, oh, well, look at James Harden, the help he had in like 2017. It's nothing compared to what Curry has right now, and Curry can't even do it. So what the fuck are you talking about? They make it seem as if like Andrew Wiggins is better than what Harden had in 2017. The guy has been a disappointment. Like, I mean, his rookie year, he was pretty good. But then since then, he's been a disappointment. He has not lived up to a standard. Kelly Oubre has been horrible this year. Yeah, he looked promising coming into it, but he's been horrible. So what? That's Steph's fault that like they've been playing like garbage? No, that's not his fault. He's doing his best. And yeah, he started off rocky himself. There's no denying that. But at the same time, he's still an amazing player and he's still Hall of Fame superstar caliber. Like, let's not fucking kid ourselves here. And they make it seem as if, like, because when Harden first went to Houston, I think he had Chandler Parsons, Dwight Howard, Jeremy Lin, even at one point. And they make it seem as if those guys were scrubs. Like, there's a reason the Mavs took a chance on Chandler Parsons, because he was putting up really good statistics. Like, I think it was like 25 points or something, or rather, like really good points on good efficiency. And they put him as a replacement for Vince Carter, who was aging, and that at that time that move made a lot of sense. So let's not pretend that he had nobody, or didn't have at least decent pieces. And even I think in that 2017 year, um, they were like one of the top 10 defenses in the league. So let's not pretend he had no pieces to help him. Like, I'm sick and tired of the whole mindset of, oh, a carry job. To some extents, I do see it, but there are certain extents that it's not true. These players are also on the court, making the right passes, making the shots. It's not just one player, it's multiple. And granted, yes, it is impressive when these superstars make these amazing like plays, but then it totally disrespects all the other players on his team. But right now, it is valid because they are not playing well. Steph is the only one that's trying to at least do something. And then the whole thing about LeBron in 2007, they every year, every time, they always say, "Oh, he carried that team to the finals. He carried," and to extents, yes, that's fine. I can see it, but at the same time, let's not pretend that those players didn't do anything themselves. So Andrunas Ilgauskas was not a scrub. Larry Hughes was a very decent player. And I mean, because how can you say that? But then the very next year, they get some like other pieces, some of them being the same, and they're like pretty much top five in the league. Before he, I think 2 years before he gets traded to, I mean, before he signs with Miami. I don't know. I don't understand that mindset because if they were good enough to get to the finals, how can you say that they were bad? I mean, and then everyone likes to shit on Michael Jordan, like, and when he didn't make it out of the first round, and it's just like, really, you're going to compare LeBron's teammates to the teammates Jordan had in his earlier years? Half of those guys were not even like that good. Some of them were aging. Like, I think at one point they had oh my God, what is it? The Iceman, I think, was even playing with him. But he was aged. Like he wasn't the same player. It just, I don't know. I really dislike how they try to pad LeBron and give him excuses on that end, but they're not willing to afford those same excuses for other players. And again, with Curry again, like LeBron in that first finals, oh, he was young, he didn't have good enough teammates. But they don't afford Curry that same, like that same situation. Oh, well, see, look at LeBron. He took him to 6 games, even without. And it's like, yeah, because that was LeBron's, I don't know, probably fourth finals, probably even, yeah, it was probably LeBron's fourth or fifth finals at that time. And this was Curry's first finals. So obviously he's going to have some inexperience there. So I don't know, like you can say what you want about Steph, but it's ridiculous when they afford certain excuses for LeBron and other superstars, but not afford the same excuses or even just, I don't know, to Curry. We hold these players to really high standards, but then we really shit on them when it's very unfair. I think because fans are so fucking fickle that they always forget certain aspects of the game. Like even recently with like Rudy Gobert, Shaq was talking mad shit about Rudy Gobert, and yeah, Shaq was a dominant force. I get it, but to shit on Rudy Gobert for getting the contract that he got, I don't know, man. That spells jealousy to me. And you could say, oh, it's not. Why would Shaq be jealous of Rudy Gobert? The guy doesn't even average that much offensively. Yeah, but he's a two-time defensive player of the year. Like there's more to this game than just offense. Defense is another huge aspect. And I don't know, Shaq, anytime anyone speaks highly of another big man, Shaq just always finds a way to like have a dick measuring contest. I don't know, man. Shaq is cool once in a while, but he could be really in his own head when shit like that happens. I don't get it.
I don't know, man. I mean, guys retired. You know, at that point, it shouldn't matter. You should be embracing younger players, new players. You should embrace and congratulate their success. There shouldn't be any point for jealousy. At that point, you made your success in the NBA. You're a four-time NBA champion,
And a
you
Hall of
know,
Famer.
and a Hall of Famer. You should be. I don't know why you would be shitting on Gobert when he's seeking he's seeking the same goals. He's seeking a championship like you were once before you won yours. So it's like, come on,
I guess he's
that's not.
jealous about the contract he got because it's like,
You know,
hey man,
oh,
I scored way more than that, and I didn't get a
oh,
contract like that.
what kind of contract did he get?
I don't know. It was a max contract of sorts. Let me pull it up real quick. I
Oh,
think
he's jealous about the amount of money that
that's what I
Gobert
think
got.
it
And
is. That's what I think it is. I
come
mean,
on,
he probably won't admit that, but I
come
think it
on,
is.
man, come on. You're probably making Shaq. Well, across all sports, I've noticed that when players retire and they go into, you know,
Let's see. Rudy
when they go
Gobert.
into commentating or being an analyst for like ESPN, CBS Sports, NBC Sports, Fox Sports, whatever,
Yeah,
what
so
have you.
this is his contract. A 5-year, $205 million extension.
Woo!
Yeah, and
Okay.
Shaq has been throwing shade about that ever since. Like it's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's
205 million dollars over the course of
and
5
granted, a
years.
lot of
That's
people are
good
going to
money.
agree that yeah, that is a lot for a guy his talent. It is, I guess. But that's not to say that he didn't work to deserve it. I mean, granted, maybe he's not worth 205, but I don't know. Like you can split this any way you want, but he got his. You should just be happy for the guy. And he's going to work towards doing what he needs to do. And they're doing well right now. So I don't know what you want from the guy. Shaq just needs to shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. No, like Shaq, look, he's a Hall of Famer and I respect him and all that, but for this point, he needs to stop doing that. Like he's such a hater when it comes to these players, man. Like why can't he be like Allen Iverson or somebody like that who at least gives respect where it's due, you know? I don't know. That's just
Yeah,
me.
look, well, like I said, man, across all sports, you know, when a lot of players, foreign players across all sports go into commentating, analysis, and other stuff like I said at ESPN, CBS, NBC, Fox, and various other places, right?
Hmm.
They actually make so much more money doing that than they do when they were a player in the leagues that they played in. They do. Go look at it. Like that's why I said like Shaq. I don't know why he complain. I'm sure he's making bank. You know, being a commentator and an analyst for TNT. For TNT for the NBA. It's like, come on, man. A lot of players do like this. Like Tony Romo, after he left, when CBS offered him a contract to do commentating and an analyst, he's making a lot more there than he did playing for the Cowboys. So that's like I don't see what the deal is with Shaq to be talking shit to Gobert when he was able to get a deal that was in this regard a good deal. I'm sure to Gobert, $205 million over the course of 5 years. Shoot, that's great money. I
Hmm.
mean, Utah is not what we saw. Utah's not doing that horrible. I'm sure they're going to be a good team. So it's like, come on, if he's working his ass off for that money, then all you can do is wish him success, and that hopefully it goes well. But to shit on someone, bro, that's so unprofessional of you. When I'm sure you didn't like it when someone shit on you
Oh yeah, dude,
for, for his success.
he's such a child. Anytime someone calls him out or like talks badly about him, he's such a child, dude. He starts talking about people's moms and shit, like, well, your mama this and your it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what are you, 14? Jesus. I don't know. That's
And
that
I'm sure that's why Charles Barkley gets back at him because I know they didn't get along when they were playing in the NBA, but I'm just like I'm sure they're more chill now, but every now and then it's like Charles is like I'm taking no
and
shit from
Shaq
you,
always
bro.
talks shit on Charles for not winning a championship, dude. It's like, dude, look at the fucking era he played in. And that he's like, you know who I think is very much like him right now? Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is an amazing player, but because of the competition he has around him, especially in the Western Conference, it's hard for him, dude. Like I don't think he's as sad as this is to say, I almost feel he's never going to win a championship because he just
Yeah,
has way too much competition. Like you have, Curry in the Warriors, LeBron in the Lakers, the what is it? The Mavericks are starting to come up, the Pelicans are starting to come up. Just there's so many fucking players now that are super talented. It's hard to do anything now. And I just like, but the thing is, we shouldn't disrespect Damian Lillard because he has done a lot with so little. When LaMarcus Aldridge and some of those other players left, he still kept them in the playoffs.
yeah, he did.
Like this, he's impressive, and he's like great. What is it? Charles Barkley and Sidney Moncrief. Those are two players that were really good, but just couldn't get over the hump because of the competition they faced.
Yeah, that that's why I'm kind of just beside myself when it comes to someone like Shaq, bro. Like I said, you got 4 championships. You're making good money with because he went back to school. You know, I congratulate him on that. He was able to get
A
I forgot
doctorate.
a doctorate. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got a doctorate, and he's been able to do make some investments to where he's able to sustain his family doing good. I was like, all right, man, that's great, but
Yeah, at this point, why the
it's
fuck do you care about what
it's like,
Rudy Gobert is
yeah.
making?
At this point, why do you care? Yeah, why do you care about other players and the deals that they're getting at this point? It's like, bro, you're retired. You're doing other things. Of course, you're analyzing the game, but for you to throw shade at someone that got a good deal for himself, that you thought, oh man, I could. It was like, at that point, that shouldn't matter. You made your success with what you had, and because also, dude, not many players can say the same. Not many players of the hundreds or thousands of players that have come through the league, only a select few have been able to win championships. Not, the majority of them have not. So that's not that's kind of like I said, that's unprofessional of him to do that, and that would go for anybody, you
Yeah,
know. So I don't
I
know,
don't know.
man. I just don't understand that pettiness at
I don't
all.
know. Shaq is always throwing shade wherever he can. I don't understand. But anyhow, that's really like, I mean, it's exciting this year though. Despite all that's going on, it's still a very exciting year. There's a lot of like I think the conferences have really evened out with Westbrook going east and all this other stuff. Like a lot of teams have really evened out. I mean, because even Gordon Hayward left the Celtics to go to the Hornets. Oh, and that's another thing, man. Like the that's another thing that frustrates me about the Mavericks. They go one night putting up a 50-point freaking lead. Then they go the next night and they freaking give up a 30-point like deficit. Like what the fuck, man? That's so I don't understand the inconsistency there. I just like and of a team, and I'm not saying that the Hornets are bad. Again, it's still early, but there's a lot of good signs for the Hornets. But the Mavericks should not be losing like this, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? They should not be losing like this, considering the expectations that were set upon them. But yeah, it's still going to be an interesting season. I still have faith the Mavericks are going to come back from all this. I'm excited. Like this has been the most entertaining the league has been in a while, and I don't care what anybody says. It's because it's even. There's a lot of competition now, true competition, leniency all over the league where you can just compete. There's no super teams. Like it's all one big deal now. Like everybody has a chance. Nobody knows who's gonna win it. I mean, you could say, oh well, the Lakers again. Well, who knows, man? Like the Clippers and the Suns are playing really good right now. They may have some pretty decent competition this year. But I don't know. I digress. Anyhow, let's move on to the NFL because it's about to start the playoffs and it is going to be an interesting season in the
Mm,
well postseason, I should say, now that the season is over. But let's see as far as who has clinched spots in the AFC. We have the Chiefs at number 1, the Bills at number 2, the Steelers at number 3, the Titans at number 4, the Ravens at number 5, the Browns at number 6, and the Colts at number 7.
so this that the this is just a sight to behold to finally see the Browns
Yep, the
of all
Cleveland
teams
Browns.
in the playoffs after so many
Since
years.
2002. That is a long ass time.
Oh, since 2002, so it's been 19 years, dude.
That's still a long
That's
time.
yeah, that's a very long time. But I'm glad, you know, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, not going to mount up too much," but the organization seems to have finally gotten something, and Baker Mayfield is doing really well. I mean, he still has a long way to go, but I mean, you got to
Yeah,
give credit where credit is due for this team. I am so happy for Cleveland as far as football goes because it's been a long time coming. So congrats to them for making the playoffs, and I wish nothing but success for them. But all the AFC, the Titans looking good. The Colts finally doing better. Think to see that because I have a few
buddies that
friends
are
that are
Colts
Colts.
fans. Yeah.
Mhm. So they're really happy, and of course I know Ashley is really happy
Yeah, with their
with the
Steelers.
Steelers, but also Buffalo, man. I'm really happy to see Buffalo after what, almost 25 years or so, because they haven't been this good since the 90s, bro.
Hmm.
Like mid 90s from what I recall. So
I mean, they've been like in the playoffs, but like they haven't like done well. Like they were not a high enough seed,
They
but
haven't been back to the AFC Championship in since the 90s, man.
yeah, but like it's the AFC is really tough this postseason. I mean, it could you could possibly see at least the top four teams here, the Chiefs, the Bills, Steelers, and the Titans, possibly. I mean, hell, even the Ravens, man. Any of those
Yeah.
teams could be in the AFC champion, like could be AFC championship this season.
Hmm.
Any of them. I mean, fuck. I mean, I'm not gonna go that far to say the Browns or the Colts, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the Browns might fuck around and win a championship.
That'd be nice to see in the Super Bowl era. You know,
Dude,
that'd be nice to see.
that would be something, man. That would be something.
Yeah, because I mean, they have two championships pre Super Bowl era. To finally get one in the Super Bowl era would be
Yeah,
great.
I think the world would collapse. Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah, but in a lot of these other teams have like, been eliminated. Like, and I'm about to get to something in a minute that's kind of ticking me off. But let's go to the NFC now. So we have the Packers number one, and it's looking like Aaron Rodgers is geared to get MVP this season over Patrick Mahomes. I mean, either of them are both very.
Well,
I think
yeah,
either of them could win the MVP this year. Either of them.
yeah.
They've both been very good.
He's the top quarterback this season. I mean, his QBR is 84.4, and then Mahomes is just right at number two. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would probably be neck and neck, but I think Rodgers will win it. I personally think.
Yeah, he's had a really good year, and so was our guy Aaron Jones, man, from UTEP.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
Aaron. Shout out
Yeah,
to him and his family, bro. I'm so happy for him, dude.
yeah, me too,
They're
man. Like,
looking great.
I wish he wasn't on the Packers, but it is what it is. I'm happy for him anyway.
Yeah, of course.
But anyhow, so then the Saints have been doing
Who
pretty
dat?
well. Who dat?
I
Who
got a
dat?
lot of friends at work that are really happy right now.
Yeah, yeah, Rafa también, way. Like he's a huge Saints fan.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
El Rafa way. But yeah, Drew Brees, like I think he was injured for a good amount of the season, and then they came back and played well. I mean,
Yeah.
even his backup has been pretty good.
Yeah, I have a feeling, man, Breeze has done so much. I think personally, what he's done as far as the system he's been in since he's been in New Orleans, I feel he's better than Tom Brady, hands down. Even though Tom Brady may have more titles, but as far as a great system in a football organization, I think he's better. And but I just don't think he's got much more left in him. I have a feeling that
This might
some people
be
were
his
talking that
last year.
I think he's going to retire after this year, which I feel he should. That last injury, yeah, that was a tough one to come back from, but we'll see, man. It's all up to him. But I think, I think it's time for him to hang up his cleats.
Who knows? I mean, unless like it'd be cool if he won another Super Bowl. I mean, because I think
It
that would
would be
be it. Like
cool.
if he wins the Super Bowl, I think that would be it for him. I
Yeah,
mean,
that would
either
be
way, I think it
cool.
should be, but who knows? But yeah, that's. But I mean, but it's been debated like who's the best quarterback in the league and like even all time, at least for this decade. I mean, a lot of people say it's Rodgers. A lot of people say it's Breeze. A lot of people are starting to say it's Wilson from the Seahawks,
Right.
and of
Well,
course
I mean,
Brady, like in general.
right. Well, I'm just saying, at least for this season alone,
Hmm.
the 2021 season, it's Rogers right
Hmm.
now. But yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have the Seahawks with Russell Wilson. I mean, he's been very consistent. And again, he's going to go down as one of the greatest as well, like Breeze, Rodgers, Brady.
Oh
And
yeah.
sooner or later, Mahomes is going to come down as one of the greatest because I mean, he already has a Super Bowl. So that's already knocking on the door. And then, well, the Washington football team. Oh, man. Oh, man. What a horrid season for the NFC East.
It's like,
It's
well,
just
one of the
garbage.
one of our brothers mentions, like, they just feel like no one wanted to win. Yeah, it seemed that way, that no one really wanted to win the division.
Yeah, at this point, like I hate divisions, dude. I'm so done with divisions because I mean, and I'll get to a team in a minute, but like we'll move on for them. I mean, I'm glad that
Yeah.
Alex Smith has come back. Like, good
Yeah,
for him. I feel very happy for him. But yeah, I don't. I mean, obviously, I don't think Washington is gonna do much.
I don't think they're going to get past the first round.
Yeah.
That's my say, but they've surprised us. throughout the season, they've, despite the early struggles, they've made a good comeback in many games. So we'll see. But I just, I'm just so disappointed. I've never seen the NFC East this bad in my lifetime.
Hmm.
I mean, I know there's been some seasons where that, but not this bad. Where all the NFC East teams, were just sub 500.
Hmm. Yeah, it was bad. But then, yeah, we have the Buccaneers with Tom Brady. I mean, everyone's gonna say shit
Right?
about Antonio Brown, but that was a good pickup. Let's not fucking forget the talent he has. And
Yeah,
again, with Gronkowski, like he's fucking loaded. Mike Evans, dude,
yeah,
he's fucking loaded.
yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
a dark horse team in the NFC.
I mean,
Let's not pretend that they are not a threat.
yeah. I'm just, you know, it's nice to see Tampa doing well again, and the fans are surely not complaining.
Yeah,
It's
obviously
like,
not.
come
Yeah.
on, any help is good help. He's doing a lot more. No disrespect to Jameis Winston, but Brady's real seems to be bringing the boost that Tampa needed.
Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, who the fuck are you gonna take? Jameis Winston or Tom Brady? Tom Brady. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit. You taking Tom Brady? Like, let's not kid ourselves. I know people have this stigma on him of, oh, he's a cheater, he's a cheater, he's a cheater. I don't know whether it's true or not. Tom Brady still brings it
Mm,
on a daily basis. He brings it. So let's just keep it a buck. Oh shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. That's B Souls' thing. I
what?
I got to find a better phrase to say because he
Let's
has
just
that
keep.
he has that podcast, and I don't know. Hopefully
Who,
they don't get
who are you
mad at me
talking
for saying
about?
it.
Wait, who are you talking about?
B Souls, he's another NBA YouTuber that
Okay.
he's really good. He's really cool. You should definitely subscribe to him. And fuck, now that I'm saying that, I'll probably leave a link in the description for his next video just so y'all can watch that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, for the ones that are watching on YouTube, I mean, if you're listening on like any of the Apple podcasts or Spotify, I mean, I guess you would still have to come to the YouTube channel to um to subscribe and then look at those links and all that stuff. But yeah, I digress. So now we have the Rams and the Bears. I mean, the Rams, oh man, they started off shaky, but then they kind of came back. So the Rams are
Yeah.
still a pretty good team, and then the Bears, like, good for
They
the
made it.
Bears.
Yeah, good for that. I mean, there's a lot of work for the Bears, but for what it is, they were able to get it. So let's see what happens. Let's see what
Yeah.
Trubisky can do in the
Wait, is it
postseason.
Trubisky? I thought they went away from Trubisky.
Did they?
I could have sworn they
I
did.
must have. If they did, and I didn't hear about it,
I
but
mean, I guess you can
whoever
look up.
whoever whoever's at the quarterback,
I thought it was Nick Foles, wasn't it? Nick
is
Foles
it
is the.
Foles?
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on.
I
Let's see.
kind of forgot where he went.
Chicago
So
Bears QB. I mean, this is pretty bad. I mean, I'll be quite honest. I haven't been keeping up with the NFL as much. So let's see. Mitch Trubisky, Taylor Bray, and Nick Foles. But who's been playing? Who's been starting? Fuck, I don't know. Let's see who's been starting. Starting doesn't give me much of a difference there, huh? Okay. I don't know, man.
wait, well, it says here Nagy names
Foles, Bears starting quarterback.
starting
But see, that was in
quarterback. So that's
September, though.
oh
I don't know if he's still.
well. I'm sure we'll find
Oh
out
no, because see
soon.
Mitch Trubisky returning as Bears starting QB. Well, I don't know. Either way, I don't. Again, I don't see the Bears. I don't see them moving further into the playoffs. But I don't know. I think it's kind of nice that they made it.
Yeah, there's definitely a few people we know that will be happy about that, but it may not last.
But yeah, as far as the teams that have the biggest chance of making I mean, getting to the Super Bowl for the NFC, it would be either the Packers, the Saints, Seahawks, or Buccaneers. Those are the teams I think have the most chance of making it.
Mm,
Otherwise, I don't see anybody else making it. But yeah, that's what we have for the NFL. I mean, as far as who wins it, I might make a video on that sooner or later.
mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting playoffs to watch because I'm liking the teams that are on here, especially the ones that haven't been in here for a long time. So maybe we may see some upsets. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, that'd be interesting. Like, again, the Browns. Imagine the fucking Browns.
Yeah, I'm kind of, and of course, some of our fans not going to be happy because the Dolphins were actually doing pretty good, but they just
Yeah,
didn't
and
get that.
they ran out of gas. Yeah.
I was like, ah, man.
I mean, like what's stupid is Dallas had a fucking chance to make
Dude,
the
I just feel
playoffs. But
like,
again, the the division, I'm so tired of it. They need to do away with that because okay, let's see. There was a team that should have been in. I think it was yeah, the Cardinals, 8-8. 8-8. And look at the goddamn football team. 7-9. You got to be kidding me, dude. That's the thing that pisses me off. A
but
team
they,
with a better record should be in the damn playoffs. Period. That's why they
right,
need to get rid of divisions.
right, because they're basing it off of whoever wins the division goes to the playoffs. But at the same time, it's like, what if that division leader is did worse than
It's
a
garbage.
yeah,
Exactly as I'm
yeah,
saying. It's garbage.
I really, yeah, I see your point now because that at that it's like that's unfair for teams that did well. Let's say the Dolphins were in the NFC,
Yeah.
and they got bumped because they lost their division, but yet Washington, who's done is has a worse record, went that. Yeah, I just don't like the way that's set up because teams. I feel I know we discussed this, but teams that have a better record that have done well should go, hands down. That should be the end of it. They did better than you, so they deserve to go. But they always try. There's always these technicalities and weird, convoluted, standards they have that they they say, oh no, well, it's stupid. I agree with you. It really shouldn't be done that way.
Yeah, that's my opinion. I mean, whether it's like, oh well, I mean, yeah, there's other factors to that, but in general, that just seems the most logical to me, at least. That seems the most logical. There's certain things I think all these sports leagues should do away with. Like at least in the NBA, and I mean, a lot of people have been saying, oh, the conferences and the divisions. Like I can understand getting rid of divisions, but conferences I still think should at least be there because I mean, now that the East is starting to get some power back in the NBA, I don't think there's a need to get rid of the conferences anymore. I mean, some people might disagree with that, but it's whatever. And then as far as another thing, I don't like the draft in the NBA. I don't like the lottery. I think it's stupid. I mean, and they've made it extremely convoluted now. I really think it should go like the way the NFL is. Whoever has the worst record should get the first pick. That's what I think. I really think it should go back to that. I mean, I don't think part of me feels that the NBA I don't think ever had it where it was like that. I think it was always lottery, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was a change somewhere and I just don't know. But I think they should do that. It makes more sense to me in my head, but maybe there's a reason why I'm wrong. And maybe you all can tell me that in the comments. But yeah, anyhow, let's get on to the next deal. Let us look at if this thing would allow me to close something. Sorry, there's something. I hate when this thing gets in the way. Let's see. Let's close the playoff picture there. Let us talk about some UTEP. We're El Chuco Sportscast, yet it has been a fucking while since we've talked about our good old El Chuco. So let's talk about some UTEP, especially basketball. I mean, football, their season was pretty much cut short due to COVID and, just El Paso in general not doing things smart. It makes me sad. Hopefully next year things are better and UTEP can at least get back on track. I mean, they were like 3-7 this year, I think. So I mean, at least they won a few extra games. So I don't know. Oh no, they were 3-5 because there was a few games that were canceled. So I don't know.
There's 12 games in a college football season, so yeah.
Overall,
Um,
it's kind of sad, but hopefully, I mean, it looks like they're taking some steps in the right direction as a I guess as a team. But who knows? That answer will probably be, it'll be established next season when things are a little bit more normal. Hopefully. But
yeah,
yeah,
I'm praying so.
yeah, as far as basketball though, they're doing really good right now. As far as the Conference USA standings, they are second in Group A for Conference USA, which is really
Yeah,
damn nice.
West. It's the West. So they divide now that Conference USA has expanded, which I think is what 14 teams in total.
Hmm.
Um, it's now expanded where it's you have a West and East division. So we would be in the West Division of the Conference USA.
Oh, I
So
see.
yeah, that's how they divide it, which is interesting. And it's nice to see as far as basketball goes. The Conference USA, I feel, has improved as far as schools and the amount of schools that have come in. So I think it's not a bad conference overall.
Yeah, I think UTEP is started to pick up. I mean, look at them overall right now. They're 5-3. I mean, it's not a bad, yeah, not a bad score right now. And maybe as the season picks up, they'll improve a little bit. I mean, they have really good players. I mean, the last game they beat Southern Miss. I mean, they lost them in the previous game before that, but like they got their revenge after that. So
Oh, they
I
had
think this
back
is
to
a good
back.
team.
They
Yeah,
had back to back.
I think what they're doing it like this because I guess it makes the most sense due to COVID situations.
Oh, yeah, I see now. Yeah, so that way when they do back to back, as if because they had to play a home and away game each team, and twice. Well, they
Hmm.
have to play each team twice, home and away. But I guess to save the trouble of traveling and all that, they do them both. Okay, okay, I
Yeah,
see.
but yeah, I mean they've been pretty decent. I mean they play number one seeded Rice in that conference slash division. So let's see. Hopefully they play well. I
It'll
mean,
be this weekend. Yeah, hopefully I get to watch it. But yeah, not bad. They won one. They lost one. They won one. Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, able to get the hand up on them.
yeah, I mean, and then there's been like a few players like this guy Jamal Bieniemy. I apologize if I have totally slandered that one. And then Boom is another great player. And Bryson Williams. Those are the three I've been seeing that have been like very consistent statistically, especially Bryson Williams. Last year, he was like one of those forwards that was like, dude, this guy, I think he's going to be something if the NBA gets their hands on him because he was putting up some really good numbers. He has very good post moves, decent mid range shooter. Like I don't know, man, he's really good. And then or Bohm, however you pronounce his name, has been really good. I think he scored 21 points in the last game. Let's see if there's a way I can, yeah, go back to this players. I wish they could just give me the statistics instead of just going to the main internet. But overall, they've been playing very well. Let's see, maybe if I can news. Yeah, let's see.
Or,
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's yeah, hot shooting miners shoot down Southern Miss. Let's see.
or the
Maybe
Herald.
if I just
Yeah,
read the article, it might be better.
I was saying check on ESPN. They should have the stats
Yeah,
of the
UTEP
players.
shot 50.9% from three. Oh, no, just 50.9%. And then 10 for 22 from beyond the arc. Oh wow, that's a pretty high accuracy. That's a
Good,
little less than 50%, but still.
very
Despite
good.
shooting over 53% and out rebounding the Miners, the Golden Eagles tallied 18 turnovers. Oh wow, that's bad. Um, but yeah, they've been playing really well. So Bohm scored. Oh no, Bohm scored 17 during the second half, and then Verhoeven scored 11 points. And I could have sworn, oh yeah, Bienmi. I think he was the one that scored at a pretty high level. But yeah, look, the last two games he's been averaging 19 on 61.5%. Damn, that's good. Seven
That's really
assists and
good.
3.5 rebounds. Yeah, I think that's another good player that the Miners have. So I mean, I'm really excited for this season for them, and hopefully they can bring their A game against this Rice team. But yeah, that's UTEP, at least the men's team in a nutshell right now. So I'm really excited for them. But on the other hand, the women's team has also been playing very well. They're currently 5-2 in their division in the Conference USA play. So yeah, they have been playing really well. They've been undefeated at home, and they're currently on a 2-win streak. And just overall, they've been playing really nicely. You know, Katia Gallegos from El Chuco herself. I think she graduated from Franklin. You know, she's like 5'7", so an inch taller than me, man, and she's killing it. It's been really good. I mean, this is a decent team as well, and I think is Kifa Adams, I think is her name, right? What's her name?
She left a few years
Oh
back.
man,
Yeah,
she was a heck of a coach, man. Who's the current coach then?
I don't remember his name. I haven't kept up with him, but for what he's been doing, it's been pretty good. I just don't remember his name. But yeah, Keith Adams left. I think 2017 or 2018. one of those 2 years because she accepted another job at another school. I just can't remember where. But she was one of the best coaches for the women's teams that our school had, and as far as bringing it up to a competing team. So it was sad to see her go because of all the success that she did uh, for our alma mater. But
Hmm.
something's better comes up. Hey, you're gonna take the opportunity. But I'm sure that our new the new women's coach is doing a good job based on what we see so far. And I got to give my respect to Coach Terry for the men's team. I know in the beginning it's been rough trying to find the pieces that he needs because there was a lot of drama the past few years with a lot of players, entering the portal to transfer to another school and then deciding not to. And it's like, man, either you want to. That's what pissed me off with some players. Like, bro, you want to stay, then commit to the team. If you don't want to stay, then go, but don't flip flop.
I
It,
know, but
it,
see, with again with UTEP's situation, dude, they really cannot afford that. UTEP is again, they've been kind of stuck in a purgatory of their own for a while, so they need all they can get.
I know, but at the same time, the students got to make up their minds too. It's like,
Hmm.
what's it gonna be? Don't. I would be like, commit then if you're gonna stay, but don't waste our time if you're you know indecisive. Like, bro, make a decision. But it was just a lot of drama, unnecessary drama that a lot of these players created. It's just like, bro, come on,
Yeah.
make a decision. But it seems like the pieces are set in place. Everything seems to be working. So I wish Coach Terry all the luck in the world, all the best, and that we can see this team flourish once again.
Yeah. So according to KTSM for like that game against Southern Miss for the women's team, so Destiny Thurman drilled a corner three to give UTEP the lead with 1:30 remaining. So they won on a three, which is awesome. They have some good shooters, and then Katia Gallegos with 22 points, and then Dejanay Roebuck added 17. So yeah, yeah, they have some gunners out there, man. This is a really good women's team. I mean, and again, the women's team for UTEP has always been a very decent team.
Mm.
And I hope that like they can get to like the NCAA tournament and perform well because
I do too. They did
because
it before. They can do it again.
yeah, I mean because didn't yeah, it was Texas A&M's women's team that won the NCAA tournament. Maybe, I mean because they have seemingly decent pieces. They could probably get a championship of their own if they play their cards right and just keep playing the way they're playing.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean I'm excited. This is a really really good team overall. Let's see. So they're showing the running layup and yeah, definitely follow. You should follow their stuff on Twitter and stuff, guys, because I mean UTEP looks very promising this year for men's and women's. So if you're if you're from good old EP, please follow the miners. Please support your miners this year because they're gonna need it. But yeah, man, I'm happy that they're doing well because it's been a while for at least the men's. I mean, the women's have been pretty decent, but it's been a while since the men's have been playing at least well. So yeah, I mean, and then last year they were on a good streak, and then of course COVID happened and everything's shut down. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I am excited
Hmm.
about this year overall. Um, but yeah, as far as sports, that's really all we have. And I just want to say a few things before we kind of try and wrap this up. Uh, as far as projects, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm trying to do, and I have to start writing scripts because I had ideas at one point. I was trying to work on a Steve Nash video, but it kind of fell by the wayside when my computer died. Hopefully, I get back to that because I think it would be really cool. And I'm trying to see if I could do something again on Steph Curry because, he's been very polarizing. There's a lot of haters and a lot of people that like him. There's good and bad on both sides of Steph Curry's like legacy and all that. So I hopefully I could get to do that. And then just overall, um, like I said, besides these podcasts being on YouTube, they're also on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, as well as a few other streaming platforms for podcasts that I don't really know off the top of my head. But on Anchor recently, I've been starting to do something to possibly, hopefully, get funding for the podcast. And it would be nice if you all could donate. I'll leave a link in the description. You can donate as little as $1 up to $10. It's really your choice, but every little bit helps, and hopefully this helps grows the podcast and possibly even more so my channel, so I can start creating better content again. And I would really love your support. It would mean the world to me. And yeah, that's really all I had to say on the El Chuco Sportscast for today. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we head out, bro?
No, no, I think we hit everything we needed to. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the same thing for me. Please support this podcast. We really appreciate it because it's a cool thing to be doing this. You know, talking about sports and just having a good time, and so it would mean a lot. So also, if you please also go and support my channel and subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. Red MT25 for our Red Reacts series. We just react to videos, and then just a lot of all other gaming videos that will be coming soon once I get my rig up to the task of recording and recording gameplay. So yeah, we really appreciate your all support in any way, just to grow our brands and just continue to have fun doing it as well.
Alrighty, well, ándale pues. Suscríbete a mi canal y hasta el próximo, mi gente. Adiós. Go Miners.
Reminders picks up.